Welcome into this AFC Championship coverage hosted by JB as part of Nelson here. We are seeing the 13-4 Baltimore Ravens taking on the 13-4 Cleveland Browns. Here we go, coming right to you live with the action. And the Browns lost the coin toss, I believe, or maybe they won it, but they are kicking off nonetheless to start here. Ravens will take this one out of their end zone as Skandrick's going to pick up a nice little gain there. They are going to start the first drive of the game at the 31. I appreciate everybody joining us here tonight. If you're brand new to the NEFL, this is a sim-connected franchise mode on Madden 23. In this current cycle, we are currently in Season 6. This is the AFC Championship. The winner of this game will take on the winner of the Lions or the 49ers in the NFC Championship. First play of the game is a handoff to the young back Skandrick, an absolute menace this year, placed top 5 in rushing yards. He's going to be a real force today. Cleveland is making sure that they are honing in on him early and often, trying to shut down any hope of a successful run game in this one. Lamar comes out in the pistol on 2nd and 9 here. Sees the look of the defense, makes a couple adjustments. It's going to be another handoff to Skandrick as he squeaks through the line. The defensive lineman's able to get hold of him, though, and brings him down and brings up 3rd and 4. Check that. That was Troy Anderson, the offseason acquisition here for the Browns. An absolute beast in the middle of the field. He's been a real difference maker for the Browns this season. Jackson coming up first, third down of the game, out of the gun, looking for his first pass of the game. Sees his running back wide open, strikes. Skandrick has an edge, and he goes out of bounds down at the 33-yard line. Lamar's first pass of the day goes for 30 yards. Very impressive there. Saw the pressure coming, was able to drop back just far enough, still able to get that ball away, and they pick up a huge first down on 3rd down there. First play under center here is a stretch to the left. Skandrick's going to try to find some space, breaks a tackle, and he's going to pick up about 5 there. Skandrick, typically a true speed threat at that running back position, but showing off the strength there and resilience, able to pick up 5 on that first down run. Second and 5, knocking on the edge of the red zone here. Skandrick set off to the right. It is a passing play. Lamar looking left, fires it. Tried to squeak into a tight window there, but just a little bit thrown out in front of the receiver, out of bounds. No real opportunity to bring in that one. Takes us to 3rd and 5 here. Ravens coming out in the gun. Cleveland trying to match up with them. 3 down linemen. Looks like man coverage across the board here. Safety help over top. Ravens are throwing the ball. Looks across the middle, and he throws to the deep receiver. A mistake there. Browns capitalize it, and they're trying to get more. They take that interception back. Darnell Savage all the way to the 42. A huge interception on the first drive and a massive return. Not sure what Lamar was looking at there. Was trying to get it all in one play. Darnell Savage, one of the premier safeties here in the NEFL, came up with a huge interception on 3rd down there. Shuts down any hope of an opening drive score for the Baltimore Ravens. And Stanley Nelson and co. pick up the offense here at the 42-yard line. Man in motion from the right, drops back, looking to pass, fires to the corner route, who makes a man miss. He's all the way down across the 30 to the 23-yard line. What a throw and catch, and what a nifty move. I can't think of a better term for it than nifty. It doesn't quite always apply, but Davis, but with a big reception there, takes it all the way down to the 23-yard line. Nelson back in under center. They do hand it off right for their first run of the game and going to pick up a measly 2 yards there. Marco Turner, another young electric running back on the Cleveland side. Guys, we are back to drinking here. Took our night off last night, but we're back. Didn't make us feel any better in the morning, so why not? Cheers. Nelson back in under center here. Looking right, finds, I believe, Davis again. Going to pick up about 4 on that one. Coming in on a 3rd and 6. Nelson back out under the gun, under center. Try and get the X factor activated. Almost there already. This is an area you'll see them use the tight end heavily. They do go to the tight end Santos as he catches and he's in for 6. First touchdown of the game. Cleveland working with short field position on that drive. They're able to capitalize off the turnover and score the first touchdown of the game. As Ravens get a jump and they block an extra point. He's going to pick it up. Does he have a chance? No, he's stopped there. Ravens with what I believe is the 4th block kick of these playoffs. These special teams have been coming alive here in this playoff so far. We saw that happen a couple times in the 49ers wildcard game. And then here again today on the first extra point attempt of the day. It could be a difference maker later in this game. Cleveland may have to go for 2 at some point. If Baltimore is able to come up with a stop there, it could put them in a very strong position to take the lead. Jackson coming out for a second drive off of that interception previously, throws it quick out to Weiss, the young receiver who truly came into form this season. I absolutely crushes development. He's now an X factor as we move here into these playoffs. That's one of Lamar's favorite targets. Keep an eye on him today. Going to be a great matchup with him and that secondary on the outside. Jackson comes out in the empty set. You can't be sure this is going to be a pass. We all know Lamar can run, although they do throw a quick screen to the outside. Cleveland was ready for it, and they're going to stop that for no gain. Brings up a 3rd and 8. Ravens were able to convert a big passing play on the previous drive when they were in that first 3 and out situation. We'll see what they have in store here. Lamar dropping back. Looking at Cleveland looks to have this about wrapped up. And Lamar tries to just throw it away or maybe hit his tight end there. Not able to complete the pass. That's going to bring up our first punting opportunity of the day today. Spear out to punt. Absolutely knocks that one deep. Flipping the field position. Cleveland does have some space for a return here. They're going to be able to recover that one to the 29-yard line. Nice little return there of 19 yards. And Cleveland's going to take over for their second drive of the day. Nelson coming out in the heavy set. Fullback is in the game for the first time today. X Factor has been unlocked as handoff goes to Turner, who finds just a couple yards there, going to bring us a 2nd and 4. Both teams, in the Cleveland had a short first drive there, but we're already seeing Baltimore get away from that running game. When you have a young back like Miles Scandrick, running has to be in your DNA. You have to stick with the run. It's interesting to see them get away from it so quickly here. We'll see if there's some adjustments made on the sideline before their next drive. Nelson drops back, looking to pass. Fires left, able to find their tight end again for a nice first down there. Nelson perfect on the day, 4 for 4. Clifford picks up the first down. Back out in the pistol. Fullback is still in the game. They fake the handoff right, fire over to the fullback, and he was not ready for that ball. The right read there as pressure was coming from the left-hand side, tried to get it out quick to the fullback, but that's sometimes why they're in the game, just to block. The hands, the reaction are not quite always in tune, and we saw an incompletion due to that. Nelson looking to run. It does hit the RPO option there, but that's going to be absolutely covered. That's the first sighting of Moats today. Likely rookie of the year in the NEFL here. Offensive rookie of the year at least. I had an absolute monster year. I believe 29 touchdowns. That was with 3 sims for the Browns this season. So an absolute electric year. We haven't quite seen the results from him yet here in these playoffs. Obviously seeing Schwartz a little bit more involved, but you cannot forget about that man, Moats. He is a threat to score at any time with that speed. Nelson dropping back to pass on 3rd and 12. Looking for Moats, as we were just talking about him. A nice little completion there. Just secures the catch. Make sure they get the first down. And the Browns move across the 50-yard line down at the 43, knocking on the red zone again. Nelson the gun, running back set off to the right. Nelson's really starting to settle in right now in this game. He's looking to pass again. Fires across the middle, able to strike his receiver in stride and picks up another quick first down there. Almost just too easy. This man coverage is not covering as tight as it needs to right now for the Baltimore Ravens. Marlon Humphrey, one of the better corners in the league. I obviously didn't let up too much separation there, but just enough for that pass to be completed without too much trouble. Man comes in motion from the left, fakes the handoff to the back, and he's going to be stuffed. Ravens were ready for it. Marco Turner not having a great start to this game. You will see Cleveland, they play this very smart. They are not going to get away from the run, even though it's being a little bit discouraged here to start out the game. They're going to continue to try to get that man, Marco Turner, and his running mate Bartell going as we move throughout this game. Brings up 2nd 11 as the clock ticks down to the end of the first quarter. We'll see if they get one more play off here, and looks like they'll just take it to the sideline, flip fields here, and we'll get restarted back here in the second quarter. So after one 6-point lead by the Browns, a game that has not had too many possessions, pretty long drives by the Cleveland Browns squad here, and they are just knocking on the door of the red zone as they look to extend their lead to 2 scores on this drive. Nelson seeing the defense, making a couple adjustments at the line. It fakes the handoff left, moving to his right. Looking back towards the middle, able to strike his receiver and picks up a nice first down to the 13-yard line. Outside of that one play to the fullback where fullback wasn't quite ready for the ball, Stanley Nelson has been perfect on the day. The 2-time Super Bowl champ on his route potentially to a 3rd back-to-back Super Bowl appearance and championship here, which would be one of the first times ever in the NEFL. As the handoff goes right, and that's why you don't get away from running the ball. Just an easy first down there for Turner. Good blocking, great execution, and it's going to be 1st and goal at the 3. Nelson under center. Moats comes in motion to the left. Looks like it's going to be run all the way. Ravens do appear ready for it. And he tries to find some space, but like I said, they were ready for it, able to stop him for just a gain of 1 yard. Interesting, Moats went in motion to the left. Nobody necessarily carried with him. Browns kept with the run. You almost wonder if they audibled out of it if he would have had some space over there. Nelson back under center in this heavy set. Fullback is back in the game. They do hand it off up the middle, and Turner's going to get in for 6. Huge play call there. The Ravens came out in a nickel package. Very interesting at the goal line on 2nd down. The personnel, it was just not matching up. It's going to be very tough to stop the run against a heavy set there. in the red zone, and Cleveland's going to be content with just the extra point on that one. They extend their lead 13-0. Against a team like these Browns, who are off of back-to-back Super Bowl wins, when you get into these playoffs, you go down by more than 2 scores, it's going to be very tough to come back against this squad. They play a very clean game. They limit turnovers, and when they have a lead like that, their pass rushers, Myles Garrett leading the squad, they're able to pin their ears back, get to the quarterback. I don't want to say this is a must-score opportunity here, but the Ravens certainly are on the cusp of that, and at least needing to sustain a significant drive here as they do get back to the run. Obviously, they're listening to the broadcast booth here. Hand it off to Scantrick to the left, brings up a 2nd and 5. I'm telling you guys, people tune into the broadcast booth. We provide great tips. Well, you shouldn't listen to me too much. We didn't even make the playoffs this year. But Lamar drops back, looking, pressure's getting to him, and he doesn't get it away. Myles Garrett tracks him down. Lamar thought he had the speed to get the edge, but Myles Garrett did not let that man escape. Breaks up a 3rd and 30, all the way back at the 5-yard line. Wow. That's almost just as good as a turnover. I'm not sure there's too many plays in the playbook that you practice throughout the week, ready for a 3rd and 30, especially when Carmichael and Garrett are able to just sort of pin their ears back here as Lamar launches it to Weiss, who has a step, and he drops it. Wow. And that was, check that was Powell. He somehow got a step on his man, almost converted a 3rd and 30, potentially a lot more, but not able to come down with that ball. Ravens are going to punt it back to the Browns, who are going to have great field position here. Try to make something happen there on the return. It brings it right to midfield. They will pick up their drive at the 50. And we see Troy Anderson sort of take a knee there at the end. That could be, we'll wait for our sideline reporter, potentially could be a big miss for the Browns, especially if he's out for extended time with the Super Bowl coming up next week. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They still need to win this one. See what they can do here. It looks like they are checking the call, moving to an RPO. Handoff left. They do run the ball, and Turner's going to pick up a couple there. It brings up 2nd and 7. Browns being very smart, very methodical, sticking to the run. Just under 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. If you're able to sort of sustain a longer drive here, come away with at least 3, potentially a touchdown as they throw it quick out to the right. Marlon Humphrey able to make a heck of a play, had their receiver open on that one, but Humphrey able to come up and get the pass breakup. But if you're somehow able to get in for another 6 here, take a 3-point lead, it'd be massive. Hey, Gamer Taz, appreciate the follow. Welcome in, my man. I appreciate that a lot. Love the boom, bam, bop, pow. Super hot fire. Bartell motions over to the left of the quarterback. He is dropping back, looking to pass. Looking across the middle, find Santos wide open. Burnt the linebacker Weatherford, one of the better coverage linebackers in the NEFL, but Santos is just a freak of nature. That's a receiver at the tight end position. Almost no linebacker out there can cover him step for step. Nelson back out in the gun, running back off to the right. Man coming in motion from the right as well. Ball snap, looking to pass. It fired out quickly to that back. It just simply gives himself up. Scared of fumbling there. I will say, and going back to a little bit of inside coverage of the Ravens, we played them towards the end of the season. I'm the owner of the Patriots myself. They know how to time those hit sticks. Very smart, something we didn't do too often, to go down, avoid the hit stick, keep your drive alive. We actually fumbled 3 times in a row against the Ravens, so we know firsthand just how dangerous that defense can be when it comes to their tackling situations. As we see what should have been a great first down, but that one's coming back, going to set up a 2nd and 15 due to the hold on Teller. Starting next season, you won't see a lot of those holds as we move to competitive gameplay. We'll take out some of the RNG that we see with penalties. currently in this game, but will certainly be interesting to kind of evaluate the gameplay as we move towards the end of the cycle here. Nelson drops back in the empty set, looking left, has his man open, and he drags the toes, picks up the first down. They get it all right back. Just great recognition of the defensive look there. Purple on one side, hard flat on the other, able to hit that corner route where the defense was dropping back a little bit further. Back out in the gun here on first down, clock ticking to almost 3 minutes left. Fires it quick right as the receiver is able to secure that pass for a gain of 4. Clifford being used early and often here. Not a name you normally expect to see from the Browns. We're normally looking for Schwartz or Moats or Santos, but Clifford certainly in some sense a safety valve here early on, getting open, able to secure every catch thrown his way so far. Handoff is a counter going outside, and the Ravens were ready for it. That defense coming up strong, gang tackling and making sure that they get the back down. Clock ticking towards the 2-minute warning here. If the Browns want to, they could bring it all the way down before calling another play. Nelson out in the pistol. Making an adjustment at the line of scrimmage. Looking right, fires right, and it's touchdown to Moats. First sighting or second sighting of the rookie sensation this game. And Moats picks up a huge touchdown there. A very risky throw against that secondary. But Stanley Nelson is the man to do it. Threads the needle between the defenders and hits his young rookie receiver for the third touchdown of the game. And the Browns now have a 3-touchdown lead with just about 2 minutes left here in the second half. Ravens will have a play here before the 2-minute warning. Allows you to sort of run the ball without getting too quickly into your 2-minute drill. But with 3 timeouts, plenty of time here for this Ravens squad. I said earlier it may be a must score, but this is certainly a must score drive as Lamar finds his big tight end to the right. I believe that's Bryce Randall, one of the best true tight ends drafted this cycle. It came out as an absolute stud, and his development has been second to none here for the Ravens squad. Lamar looking quick left, just trying to get rolling. After an early interception and 2 drives, it's sort of coming out flat. Try and just get his feet back underneath him, get a couple of throws where he can build some confidence before they try to surmount this comeback here. Lamar hands it off left, Scandrick up the middle, no space there, 3rd and 5. Clock ticking under a minute and a half now, still 3 timeouts, plenty of time for the Ravens squad. They don't want to give any time to the Browns to potentially have another drive, but I think you're starting to get into 4-down territory here. You cannot be down 3 scores to this Brown squad at halftime, especially not having a score of your own. You need to come away with some points here. Lamar dropping back, pressure's getting there, throws up a prayer, and they come down with it. Wow. I believe that is Goodwin. Somehow, some way, Lamar finds his receiver deep. They move from the 50 some odd yard line all the way down to inside the 10. Wow. As the Browns take notice of that and are making some defensive adjustments here. I will say it is something you see typical out of Lamar. He's certainly the guy to do it. He does throw up a lot of prayers, but he has those speedy receivers to kind of track that ball, get underneath it, and make a play. Clock ticking towards 30 seconds here. 1st and goal. Lamar looking and barely gets the ball away at almost a risky ball as Garrett almost trailed that one and was able to pick up an interception. But it brings us right to 2nd and goal. Clock is stopped at 29. At this point, use your timeouts if needed. Take your time. You need to come away with 6 here. Man comes in motion to the right, almost kind of sneaking over there. Weird animation. Lamar looking right, running back screen. Scandrick picks it up. Can he make a man miss? He dives. He's stuffed at the 3. Browns call a timeout. Browns want to get this ball back. They want to have one more shot at getting a score before half. They'll certainly have an opportunity to do that. But if you're the Ravens, again, it might be 4 down territory here. At the very least, you're putting the Browns inside the 3-yard line, potentially, if they do get the ball back. You got to play this smart. Obviously, no turnovers here. Throws it out quick left for the wide receiver screen. Weiss has to really make a pretty athletic move just to try and catch that ball. Gets him way too out of position, and he's not able to pick up the touchdown or get any real running space there. They move backwards from the 3-yard line to the 7. It is 4 down territory. Interesting play call there. You lose about 4 yards. You almost want to at least see an RPO with the option to run it if you know you're going to come back out on 4th down. This is almost certainly a passing situation now on 4th down here. That defensive line is going to be able to pin their ears back. Lamar making a couple adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Could be one of the most important parts of the game. Lamar keeps himself trying to get something to happen, and he's in. He runs over a man. Don't doubt Lamar. Just too strong. Wow. What a gutsy play call. Put it in the hands of your best player on offense and let him do his thing. Ravens pick up 6 just before half here, and they cut the lead down to 2 as the Browns get the jump. And the dive just falls flat versus trying to jump in front of the ball. They dive behind the kicker. Wow. But Baltimore cuts this lead down to 13 now. A much more manageable game than it could have been. Browns are going to try to get a little bit of a return here. Down to the 26. I was going to say likely just kneel it out, take it a half with your lead, but it looks like the Browns are at least going to come out in an offensive look, take a look at the defense, see if they can't make something happen here. Wow. That Lamar play call is something. If you're putting Ben lines on what the play call was going to be there, a read option and quarterback keeping the ball was not very high up on the list. Nelson coming out in the gun. 9 seconds left here. Still have a timeout, so if you get something quick, you have time for a second play. Trying to set up a deep throw. Forces a ball, finds a man open, gets out of bounds with 2 seconds left. I forget if they have the win here, but if you do, they should have the win if I'm not mistaken. You'd be able to knock in this field goal from here. That was Tony with his first catch of the day. Ravens coming out in their prevent defense. Nelson likely just going to try to throw up some sort of prayer here. Dropping back, launches it to Moats, who almost comes down with it. Wow. Ravens luckily get the pass deflection there. We're going to move to halftime, 13-point ball game. Believe the Browns will come out at half here with the ball as well. Ravens certainly need a stop to try to bite back into this lead. Outside of that short little 9-second drive there, Browns have only possessed the ball 3 times this game. Each drive has resulted in a touchdown. Smart by the Ravens here, at least making these drives stretch out a little bit longer, limit the possessions. That's what's allowed them to sort of stay in this game, even though they have not looked great today. Still only a 13-point game with plenty of time to play. And ultimately, if you're able to get some sort of stop here on defense, you're right back in this thing. Moats on the returning end of this one, as he's going to bring it from the 5. It gets just short of the 20. Ravens were all over that. Browns are going to start the drive here from the 19. First drive of the second half. Guys, who do you think is pulling this one out? Who you have? Obviously, Browns the favorite right now, but do you think Baltimore has a chance? Nelson in the gun, a fullback in the backfield, fakes the handoff, looking quick right, finds Tony, He's going to pick up a nice little gain there down to the 41-yard line. Nelson back out under the gun. Under the center. I don't know why we keep saying that. Is it we're making a new term here, chat? Nelson seeing the defense, making an adjustment. Looks like they're going to go to the run. This could be Bartel's first carry of the day. It is, as he stretches left. Not able to find too much space. Picks up 3 there on first down. Bartel coming out of that draft with his cousin as well. Obviously a great corner for the New York Jets. So at one point was a premier back for the Browns here, but he's taken a second seat to Marco Turner as he's really won the job over, taking the reins. But Bartel does still come in the game, sort of as a change of pace guy. A great threat for the Browns and an absolute weapon to have off the bench. Nelson in the gun. Empty set here. Fullback's in the game, believe it or not. And he's actually running a route as they throw the crosser across the middle. Not quite sure who was on the receiving end of that. That is Bartel with his third touch of the day, second catch. We just saw his first carry of the day. Able to beat his man coverage and able to pick up a couple there. 3rd and 3, very manageable third down for the Browns. Nelson with trips to the right, tight end off the line of scrimmage here. Looking middle, finds his tight end Santos, who had plenty of space, but just wanted to secure that catch, pick up the first down, and the Browns are back in business, back in the red zone. I gotta tell you guys, Stanley Nelson has been methodical today. We saw some missteps in his previous game, but he is locked in today. Whatever he was listening to pregame, let us know what it was. I think we all need a taste of that. This man is a force to be reckoned with now, and he's hitting his stride just in time for the Super Bowl coming up. Nelson looking to pass, fires left, and somehow gets that ball over the defender. Defender was not able to jump and try to make a play there, but the ball sails a little bit too far left and goes out of bounds before the receiver is able to come down with that one. We move to 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line. Nelson out of the pistol. Santos joining Turner in the backfield. Turner finds some space, and he's going to pick up a first down here and a little bit more down to the 13-yard line. Props to the Browns sticking with the run. It really is first decent run of the day. 9 rushes, 31 yards. Not a great average on the day, but very effective here as we move later towards this game. You can never get away from the run too quickly. Always need to keep that threat alive. 1st and 10 does look like they're going to try to throw the ball though. Nelson drops back, looking left, fires left, and just out of the reach for his tight end. Perfect accuracy, but threw it maybe just a little bit too early in that cut. Tight end was not able to track the ball. It's just out of the reach of Santos. Ball still at the 13-yard line. Nelson under center, making audible off to his right-hand side. Looks quick left, finds his running back who breaks the tackle. He's in for 6. They extend their lead back to 3 touchdowns. Just too easy. Turner, put him in space. Let him make a play. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and that is what happens. Great read by Stanley Nelson. Getting the ball away quick. Let Turner do the rest of it. The Browns are going to come out for that 2-point conversion now. We're kind of taking a look at that a little bit earlier. Santos in motion to the left. Nelson looking. fires across the middle and somehow just bounces off a Ravens defender directly through his hands. Lucky that one was not intercepted. Browns come up flat on the 2-point conversion. Ravens are going to pick up the ball here just about halfway through the third quarter. Again, you need to at the very least stay score for score here. Get back to a 2-possession game. Then defense obviously has to come up big after that, as Lamar just gets that one away, but the Browns defensive lineman Larson comes up a little shaky on that one. We'll see if he'll be able to come back into the game here. Lamar out of the pistol. Interesting. Ravens again getting away from the run too quick just because you're down. And I say that, I jinx it. Scandrick gets the ball. Let that man cook. Run the damn ball. He's down for a pickup of 8, but that one's coming back. That is tough. And maybe that's why you're not running it. Offensive line with a massive holding call there. Going to erase that run by Scandrick, who basically did everything by himself. Offensive line was really a non-factor on that one. But until they had the holding call, brings up a 2nd and 19. Ravens are in a hole now. Lamar looking to pass, get a lot of that yardage back. He does find his receiver Weiss quick to the left. Brings up 3rd and 3. About the same yardage we would have seen previously, so they do get it all back in one play there. I think every drive at this point in the playoffs, in the second half now, down 3 scores, is for 4-down territory. So keep that in mind with the play calling here. Run is certainly still in play. You know you have 2 plays to pick up this 1st down. Do not be afraid to run the ball here. Lamar dropping back, looking to pass. Trying to find something quick. The crossers simply not getting open. The man coverage was tight there. Pressure was getting to Lamar. He just had to try to force it away. And they're coming out in a punt. Very interesting here. Very manageable 4th and 3. You're down 3 scores. Defense has not stopped the Browns once today. But they do punt the ball away. Very conservative play calling coming in from the sideline. I'm not quite sure if I agree with that decision there. I'm not sure where the trust in this defensive unit is coming from, but nonetheless, you need to get a stop here. If you want to be in this game, you want a chance. Defense has to come up big on this drive. Run goes left. They're able to limit it to 3 yards as that's Bartell again. Nelson under center. Looking like it may be a run fake. It is. Play action. Looking right. Looking across the middle. Finds their speedster Moats, who's wide open. Nobody in front of him. And he's in for 6 again. Browns extend this lead to 4 touchdowns. This one is all but over. We're just about wrapped up. I don't know. One of the two. But Browns take a 33-7 lead there. 2-play drive, only 35 seconds. I guess if anything, if you're the Ravens, at least you didn't give up too much time. But now being down 4 scores to this squad, it's going to be very tough to come back here. The Ravens do call themselves, quote unquote, the comeback kings. I just think at this stage against this squad, the way Nelson's been looking today, it's going to be a near impossible task, even as great as this Ravens squad has looked throughout the season. It's going to be very tough to actually accomplish a comeback here. As Lamar throws up a little bit of a short prayer there, out of the reach of really anybody. That ball sails out of bounds, 2nd and 10. Lamar back in the gun, looking Tries to sail it off left. They're throwing up prayers at this point, and they almost come down with it, but that one's going to be broken up by the Browns secondary. Yeah, as much as you'd like to get it all back in one play, you also need to just be moving the ball. These prayers are not the solution, to be honest with you, but each to their own. Ravens very successful throughout the season. I myself am not, so maybe they know something that I don't. Ravens try to force it across the middle. Defender jumps in front. Could that be play action? It is one of the rare play actions you will ever see here in this Madden cycle of the NEFL. The defender jumping for the ball picks up sort of the incidental pass interference. That's going to grant the Baltimore Ravens a first down. Believe it or not, the tight end also came up with a catch on that play. But of course, you'll take the penalty, pick up the free first down. Excuse me, guys. A little bit past the bedtime. We were up too early for this. But we don't want to miss the coverage, so I appreciate you guys joining us here tonight covering the AFC Championship. We're 100% going to be covering the Super Bowl as long as it's not in the middle of the workday. We'll make sure we have coverage for that. We'll likely have to miss the NFC Championship, but stay tuned. We may figure something out there. 1st and 10 at the 33 after that penalty. Lamar moving Scandrick in motion off to the left. Man is wide open over the middle. Can Lamar hit that throw? He can, and that's just an easy touchdown. Powell absolutely burned his man. It was never even close. Safety came up on the play. It was not able to get back in time. The release, it was just world class there, and Ravens pick up a quick touchdown. Exactly what they needed if they do want to stay in this game or have any shot at coming back. Tucker knocks it through. Brings us back to a why can't I do math? 19-point game. Interesting deficit. That's because of the missed extra point and then failed 2-point conversion. Moat's trying to take this one back. He's going to get just short of the 30 here. Ravens defense really has to figure something out here. They haven't been able to slow down Nelson and this offensive squad all day. We'll see if they're making any adjustments here on this drive. I just don't know what you can even do to stop this offensive unit. Nelson handing off left as he finds a lane to the outside. Turner's going to pick up a couple there, just staying ahead of the sticks, 2nd and 6. Browns looking just to sustain longer drives here as we're moving towards the end of the 3rd quarter. Take some time off that clock, keep your lead, don't play stupid, don't turn the ball back over. Ravens are trying to do the exact opposite, trying to get a huge turnover, try to start to claw back into this game and chip away at that lead. Nelson looking to pass, has a tight end wide open off to the right. Santos just too good against man coverage. You cannot put a safety on that man. He's going to burn it every single time, and oftentimes he's going to burn a defensive back as well. Check that. That was actually a defensive back. It still was not enough to slow down that man Santos. Nelson now the gun, hands it off on the inside zone, and that's going to be stopped pretty quickly for only a 2-yard gain. Browns coming back out on the 2nd and 8. Looking to pass. This is where Ravens have to come away with the ball. You can't even let up an a field goal at this point. They fire off quick though, and Turner's going to pick up a first down. Just too easy. The Ravens are failing to adjust. They're playing back a little bit too much. Scared of that deep ball, potentially to Moats, to Schwartz. Completely forgetting about the running back underneath. They failed to recognize that and failed to adjust their coverage. Nelson with 2 in the backfield. They do hand it off in that heavy set. Turner stuffed again. This defensive unit playing great on the run. Really have limited Turner today. Props to the Browns for not getting away from running the ball. But the Ravens have failed drastically on trying to stop this passing game. And, also credit at the same time to Stanley Nelson. Man is absolutely locked in today. I'm not sure there's many defensive units out there that can actually make a real difference. Nelson dropping back to pass. Looking deep right, has his man open. He's able to secure that one before it flies out of bounds. But because of that throw, not able to get into the end zone. But Moats picks up his 5th catch of the day. Well over 100 yards. Absolute great performance by the young rookie. On the biggest stage of his life, the lights are not too bright as the handoff goes to Turner, and he gets another 6. It's exactly what the Ravens could not have happen. Brown's able to sustain a long drive, take a good chunk off the clock, and still come away with a touchdown. Lead extends to 4 scores here. It's going to be, again, very, very difficult for the Ravens to come back into this one, especially with no sign of slowing down that offense. And the kickoff here is going to go out the back of the end zone. Excuse me again, guys, but game's putting me asleep a little bit. No, Ravens a great squad. Don't count them out. It's just going to be a very tough one for them to try to get back into. Jackson does look to hand it off. It's a sweep. Interesting. Skandrick has certainly showed some great flashes today. If you are going to run the ball, I'm shocked the ball's not going to Skandrick there. Obviously, Ravens just trying to make something happen out of nothing. That's going to take us down to the end of the 3rd quarter. We move into the 4th. Still time here. Not sure if there's quite enough time for 4 scores unless the Browns absolutely implode and turn the ball over. Baltimore's in a position where you may even need to start thinking about onside kicking. The teams enter the pause menu here. Look like making maybe a couple adjustments. Jackson comes out in the gun on this 2nd down play. Skandrick set off to the right. Lamar drops back, looking to pass. Looking left, launches another prayer. Powell has a step and he's not able to come down with that one. That's been the story of the day. Ravens have actually been getting the step on the defenders with an opportunity to come down with the ball. Simply cannot hold on to it. That Browns unit is all over it, able to go for the pass deflection and break up each one outside of just a couple so far. Lamar back out in the gun. 3rd and 11. Need to make sure you're at least picking up the 1st down here. Fires it off quick to the right and just out of the reach for Skandrick. Lamar looks rattled, to be honest with you. That's a throw he's going to make 99 out of 100 times. You saw the one miss there. And not that he put in a terrible spot, but just a little bit too far in front of his running back. Brings up 4th and 11 in a must-go-for-it situation. And if the Ravens can't come up with this one, I think we can write this one up as essentially over here. Ravens are coming out back with the offense as expected. Browns looking to get a little bit different personnel on the field here. Trips right. Looks like cover 3 by the Browns on this one. Lamar looking to pass, looking right, and the Browns defense was ready for it. They step in front of that ball, able to get a huge interception as they're looking for more, get the ball all the way down to the 16-yard line. Newsome on the receiving end of that interception, and that is your dagger. I'm calling it. There's no way the Ravens come back. There's not going to be an announcer's jinx here or any sort of curse. This one's over. As Nelson hands it off, Turner's just going to pick up a couple there, bring it down to the 11-yard line. And now we start to take a look at the potential matchup in the Super Bowl. The Browns squad looks as if they will be moving forward. Handoff goes to Turner. He's going to pick up a couple, bring up a 3rd and short or 3rd and 1. They're going to be facing either the Giants or the 49ers in that matchup. A game we may see here later tonight. I know the 49ers were not as willing to play sort of back-to-back games here today. So we'll likely see that one kick off tomorrow with the Super Bowl starting a little bit later in the evening. Handoff goes to Turner as he picks up a 1st down. Brings us to the 4-yard line, 1st and goal. The Lions and the Niners, two very great squads, two of the better rosters we see in the NEFL. 49ers picking up what some may call an upset over the New York Giants in the previous round. That offense is rolling as Turner gets down to the 1-yard line, looking for his 3rd touchdown of the day. The 49ers play at one of the better defensive lines across the league, elite D tackle, Bosa on that D line as well. So it's certainly going to be a force. Zamir White, running back for the Lions, coming off a 200-plus yard game against the Seahawks as the young back, I believe that wasn't Turner. That was Bartell who gets in for his 1st score of the day, extend the lead to 46. Check that, 47-14 here in the 4th quarter. But Zamir White coming off a 200-plus yard game in the previous round. If there is a unit to slow that man down, it will be the 49ers. But once you do that, you have to deal with J.D. Cameron and what may be the best wide receiver core here in the NEFL. Going to be a very tough task for any team as Skandrick takes this one all the way to the house. We almost jinxed that one. And he sellies down 4 scores. What a move. What a move. He throws the selly as they cut the lead to 27. That's an all-time move. I have no words. Ravens just, I guess, trying to have fun at the end of this one here as Lamar's looking to throw, pick up a 2-point conversion, just forces it away, intercepted on that 2-point conversion. Browns are going to get the ball back on the kickoff here. But yes, J.D. Cameron thrown a DK Metcalf, Jameson Williams, the young receiver whose name is escaping me, the rookie, former Patriots receiver Carl Durant, who only has 1 catch on the season. And so it would be a very interesting, very tough battle for the 49ers defensively, but that offense is nothing to scoff at. I do believe they're going to have a real opportunity, almost go score for score with the Lions. Lions defense is where they have a couple holes, if you will. Offense is pretty much soundproof, but I do believe that's a squad you can certainly run the ball on. And so for the 49ers, it's going to be a heavy dose of Clinton in that one. It'd be interesting. If I had to take a pick, I probably have the Lions in that game, but I think the Niners are going to make it a lot closer game than most people are probably giving them credit for. A lot of people calling that game and win over the Giants a little bit of a fluke as Turner finds space up the middle and he's going to get down to the 9-yard line. But I think the Niners certainly deserve to be where they are. Great squad, have played amazing all year. Came away with a big win over the Giants. They deserve to be there just as much as any other squad out there. But going against this Browns squad, if Stanley Nelson is playing like this in the Super Bowl, it's game over. There's no recipe for this man when he's playing the way he is. And that's with Turner having a very mediocre day here so far. And then if the Browns can actually get that run game going, they're almost untouchable. Stanley Nelson, just one of the most honed in passers in the league. Nobody studies film harder than that man. As Turner finds some space to the left, trying to just go down. He gets out of bounds, which really serves no purpose for either side here. At that point, just go ahead and get in the end zone. But Nelson's going to come out and kneel this one on 3rd and goal. Bring up a 4th and goal, and they'll be happy to just turn this one back over, or maybe even take a quick field goal, which they're in their right to do so. Extend the lead out to 30. Ravens will get the ball back with at least one more drive, and likely their last drive of the game here. And great gamesmanship there by the Browns. Just, all respect to their opponent. Ravens obviously this game wasn't that close, but it's a great squad. They've played amazing all year. A lot of respect between these two coaches. Ravens will be back. You can count on that, as Scantrick finds some space again on the return. Almost takes that one back, but the kicker's there to kind of slow him down. Jackson in the gun here on a sort of just a pride drive, if you will, trying to end the season with a good drive as the Browns defensive front gets there for one of the few times here today. Percy Carmichael with his first sack. Young prospect and running mate to Myles Garrett took a little longer to develop due to some injury issues earlier on in the cycle, but he's really made his stamp here for this Browns defensive squad. Lamar's able to fire that one over the middle to Powell, who gets a little bit of help from the defender to pick up the first down. It is going to be a hurry-up offense. Still in that gun. 3 receivers, 1 tight end. Move into a stack formation, which I do believe is possibly banned, but, you're down 30. I guess anything goes. Firing across the middle just secures the catch versus trying to run with the ball. They pick up a big first down, brings them within the 15-yard line, nearing the 2-minute warning. They do get a snap off before we hit it. Finds his receiver in the back of the end zone, Scandrick, and he picks up another touchdown. So again, a nice sort of a confidence drive, I guess, lead into this offseason here for the Ravens. All respect to them. They certainly deserve to be here. Just wasn't their day. And it most certainly was Stanley Nelson's day. Trying for the onside kick again. Browns are going to pick this one up. And at this point, really should just be kneeling this one out. But I appreciate you guys joining us. We're at 3 viewers currently. If we get back up to 5, we're going to throw out a host before we close out the stream here. Just bear with us if you don't mind. If you're in the chat, I do appreciate it. I like to support other streamers before we kind of close up shop. Bear with us, just trying to get a couple more people in here. Nelson just kneeing this one out. This is bringing us to a close here. Defender maybe offsides. One more knee, and that's going to wrap it up for us. And that is the 3rd consecutive Super Bowl appearance for the young man, Stanley Nelson. You could write his ticket in history. One of the greatest quarterbacks we've seen here in the NEFL. Nobody deserves it more, especially when you're playing the way he was today. He's back. as the Ravens showing a little bit of unsportsmanship conduct here. I am not quite sure what's going on. Somehow they're also able to warp through the linemen, which I've never seen before. And the Cleveland Browns are your AFC champions, moving on to the Super Bowl. I appreciate you guys being here today. Another great live coverage of the NEFL. Thank you very much. Until next time, for JB and Nesson, we'll see you guys.